Growth is not becoming more, but it's becoming less of what you're not. Some versions of me had to die so I could finally live. You know, I think a lot of us are told that growth is about becoming more hustle, more achievement, more confidence. But I realized that real growth is actually shedding that old side of you that is not actually you. It's letting go of everything that is not truly you. I want to share this vulnerable process of becoming so you too can shed that old self of you that no longer serve you. For so long I held on to these identities that is not me, and it is all just survival instinct. It's just coping mechanism. I did all of that, became who I was just to make other people comfortable, not me. And I realized if I want to be where I want to be in the future, I have to let go of all those habits, all those traits, personalities, all the things that is not actually me. It's just things that I adopt to survive. Just like those butterflies in a cocoon, it doesn't get its beautiful wings without struggle. So when we want to become like that true self, that beautiful self that we always have been, actually, we have to let go some of it, and we have to struggle in the beginning. In this video, we will learn how to become the best version of ourselves by shedding all those old personality traits, habits that's no longer serving us. We're going to grow by unlearning, and I'm going to divide the steps into 4 main steps to make it easier for you guys, and it will be in the timestamps if you ever feel attracted to one steps than the other, and you can always go back to it as well. Before we jump into that, hi, my name is Quincy. I'm a full-time product designer based in London, but at heart I'm a perpetual learner, and I love to always improve myself. Anything about personal growth or even mastering a new skill, this will be covered in this channel. So if you're like me, follow me and we can learn together. Let's get started. The first step is to realize what no longer serves you, and you gotta ask yourself, what is it that is you're still doing out of habit, out of fear, or just out of comfort, and it's not out of love, right? Because old identities are roles or personas that we've adopted over time, and it's just for us to feel safe, to feel secure. For example, it could be like people pleasing. This is something that I'm still learning until now, because again, old habits is not that easy to let go of, but let's learn this together. So people pleasing is seeking validation from the external world, meeting others' expectation at the expense of our own needs, our own comfort. And in the long run, this is very exhausting. This is not something that we want to keep, right? So something that I learned is whatever I want to do, I gotta keep asking myself, is it just to please them just because I want their validation? Or do I really want to do this for them because I care about them and because I want to do it out of love? So that is something that we have to practice over time. I know it's not going to be easy, but we'll get there. I realize as well that at some point these old habits, if you're in this journey, will surface again, but that doesn't mean that you're not growing. So please don't be discouraged if you ever find yourself pleasing other people like your old self, right? The other thing is perfectionism, right? We're trying to control the outcomes or avoid shame or things like that by doing everything perfectly, correctly, in the right way. But there's no such thing as perfection. We're always tweaking our ways, we're always learning, we're always evolving. So this perfectionism probably comes from that, could be a childhood wounds or maybe you were, I was, well, in my case, right, I was, whenever I made a like small mistake, like my parents or like the people that was around me, like family, big family in general, that would another example of old identities is perfectionism. I mean, all of us human, we always want to control something, especially if it's something that we can't control. Somehow we just want to control it more. Perfectionism usually come from like want to control, or like wants to like avoid the shame that comes with imperfections, if you get it. So my case, it would be, back then I used to be so hard on myself. Like in many of my videos I mentioned this already, like even just small mistake I would be like, oh my god, like why am I so dumb? But turn out it was just all coping mechanism, and I realized that I don't need to be perfect, because in this vulnerable state I'm actually just being human, and that's okay to be not perfect. If I could mention another one, it would be overachiever. There's another thing that I could relate a lot as well. I have this high standard for myself that I guess again it comes from a lot of like childhood wounds. I think it comes hand in hand, overachiever and perfectionism. With all these old identities that I mentioned as an example before, this is going to exhaust you in the long run. This is going to cause a burnout or like major anxiety, because essentially we don't live for ourselves, we live for other people. Whatever we want to do, we're just thinking like, oh my god, like are they going to like me, are they going to validate me, is it going to be good for them, not for us? Whatever we do, it's just we're thinking about them, and it's not really going to make us grow in the right direction if we want to shed the old self. We create identities based on patterns of survival. Letting go of those identities is essential for conscious healing and growth. Another thing that doesn't serve us anymore is, of course, our limiting beliefs, right? This is deep rooted in our pattern before, in our habit. Like, it's usually coming from early childhood memories, or like past experiences, or even like failed moments in your life. But again, this is not something that we want to live in, right? This is a limiting belief about ourselves and about the world, and this is not going to serve us any longer. There's this one quote from Joe Dispenza, one of my favorite author. He said, your personality creates your personal reality. To change your reality, you must first change your thoughts and beliefs. The thing is, if we keep living in this limiting belief, you will sabotage yourself without you realizing it. Your subconscious will tell you to like, maybe this opportunity is not good enough for me. If you have like good opportunity to maybe step up to be something that is more than you are now, and if you have that like limiting beliefs, you're just not going to move forward with that limiting belief. So what we want to do is really get rid of these limiting beliefs. Tell yourself that you're awesome, you're beautiful, you're great, you're capable. The other thing that might no longer serve you is your relationship or environments that hold you back, right? Sometimes people around us, it could be friends, families, or even our partners, they could have this kind of like tendencies to reinforce our old self, because they are so used to the way we do things in our old way, and then the moment we change that, just like any change, human don't like change. So when we change even for the better, they're like, whoa, who is this? You're not usually like that. So for instance, if you're always like saying yes to everything that your family told you to, your friends or your partners, and suddenly you're like, oh sorry, I cannot do this for you because I'm out of energy now, I'm very tired, blah blah blah, right? They'll be like, whoa, you always say yes before, you used to be kind, what happened? So beware of this kind of scenarios. Sometimes that doesn't mean as well that they are doing it out of like evil intention. Sometimes maybe like they also don't realize that they are putting this on you. But what's important in this process when you're going through this is just to remember to not back out. Don't feel like you're becoming a bad person. I know at first it will feel like guilt is just like around you. It's like, oh, because I used to be this nice, come on. But no, we gotta let go. Step 2 is grieve and honor the old you. Letting go is not just about rejecting your past and hating your past, like, oh my god, why was I this kind of person? Why did I do that? Why am I so dumb that I did all of that just to please other people? No, it's about accepting the fact that your old beliefs, your old identities were there to help you around that time, to help you survive, to help you feel like you're good enough at that time, even though it's a fake facade, right? It's not real, but it was there for a reason. So instead of like rejecting the past, we gotta say thank you, because essentially it just want to protect us. This stage could be really emotional and deeply human, of course, because of course you're changing to be someone that you've never been. It will be very confusing, right? You never been this person before. This is the first time. So there will be a lot of like navigating how I should behave in this situation, that situation. Think about this. I know that we're losing our old self, but we're also gaining the new identity that will be more aligned with what we want to be. Remember that grief is a price for transformation. It's not a sign you are broken, it's a sign that you are becoming. So instead of thinking it's just like a loss, but maybe we can think of it as like, okay, it's a rebirth. It's something like that butterfly. It's struggling out of the cocoon, because after that the butterfly knows they'll get these beautiful wings. But first, it's okay to let go of the things that no longer serve us. Transformation begins on the day you learn to honor the space between no longer and not yet from the mountain issue. Letting go is not just about change, but it is about mourning with love and intention. Redefine who you are becoming. This is probably one of the most important and empowering stage of this journey, right? Because over here, we're going to rebirth ourselves into something that we want to become and align within ourselves, not from external pressure anymore like we used to do, not just surviving because we want to impress other people. It's not that anymore. First, what we want to do is we want to identify our new values. What is it that matters to you now at this moment, right? Like it could be so many things and it differ from people to people. So you gotta sit down with this and truly think, what is it that you want to value at this moment? So for me, for example, growing up, I was told that I have to earn a lot of money so people could respect me. But then when I unlearned, I realized that's not true at all. I don't need other people to respect me just because I have money. If I have respect for myself, and it's something that comes from within, not from external validation. I don't need to earn money just to be respected. That's one of the example. Another example, the value could be freedom. Maybe you don't want to be tied down into one place, one person, one goal. So after you know what are the things that you want to value, now you want to envision your next self, not an idealist or perfect version of you, but the aligned version of you. Visualize how this person speaks, behaves, thinks, what they do, what their habits, what their routines like, and also be very specific with it, right? Like I mentioned before, like how do they start their day? What is it that energizes you in the morning? How do they handle setbacks? If there's any obstacles in the way, maybe the old you would cry in the corner and just blame the world. What is this new you gonna do? To change is to become unfamiliar to yourself. You must mentally rehearse being a new you. So after you envision your next self, you want to take identity-based actions. Start living in that self because you want to embed them in you. Just start small. It's okay. Like for example, if you want to be that person who have boundaries, then set boundaries, right? Protect your energy. If you want to change your routines, you feel unsatisfied with your current routines now, then embody your new values in that routines, right? And then let's say if you want to speak the truth, then always honor the truth in you, even if sometimes it is hard to speak the truth. Maybe you might hurt other people, but if you deliver it in a way that can, be good for them and you, again, like constructive feedback, right? Rather than just pure criticism. So there's always art in everything, and there's art in like saying the truth as well. So that's just examples that I have. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. With this quote here, the key is not about massive change. If you read that book, or if it's on your list, the Atomic Habits, it's not about major change, but that little change that will compound at the end, make a big impact at the end. So it's just like that with this process. Remember that this stage is about trusting the becoming. When we're out of alignment with who we really are, we suffer. But when we begin to return to ourselves, we often feel fear because it's unfamiliar, not because it is wrong. Last but not least, let go again and again. This is not a single journey. It's not a single linear journey from one point to another point. It's not like that. So healing is going to be in spiral. You will meet that situation again, and maybe you're tempted to go back to your old self because that's the familiar way for you to respond. But that doesn't mean you are not growing. You just have to have that kindness and compassion when that happens. In this case, awareness is victory because you are actively trying to let go of that old self. And then this is all about committing to yourself again and again. That's the power of recommitment, because it's not that easy. This journey requires a lot of effort and commitment, but trust me, at the end you will get something so valuable, and you will have this deep-rooted self-belief in yourself because you built yourself from within. So in conclusion, growth is not just about becoming someone new. We're not becoming someone that we're not, but we're just unlearning we're shedding, we're letting go of old self, old beliefs that no longer serve us. And then during this process, it could be painful, full of confusion, it could be full of discomfort as well, because we're like doing something new that we've never done before. But remember, it is okay. Sometimes discomfort means change, and that's alright. And then during this process, we just have to be kind to ourselves. We have to just remember, sometimes we'll go back to it again. It's the spiral. But when you face that again and like tempted to go back to the old way, just remind yourself that as long as I'm aware and like trying to always change for the better, that's already a victory. So that is good. Keep going and trust in yourself, and I know you'll get there. You're getting there, don't worry. So this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this helpful, please like, comment, share this to your friends and family. And if you want to share your stories, you can connect with me with my social media, like on Instagram or TikTok, or you can email me. I'd love to be your friends and we can figure this life together. So yeah, see you again in the next video.